Dear audience, if you go through the history and data, you will find that every democratic country gives the right to freedom of speech and expression to its citizens. In some countries it is restricted, while in some countries it is absolute. As for America, which is the most developed country of the world, here freedom of speech and expression is highest. And American Constitution says, until your speech does not threaten the security of the nation and does not hurt the sentiments of the people, you are not a lawbreaker and you are not a criminal. As for Germany, here is also a right to freedom of speech and expression. But on some certain topic, you can't express your thought and ideas, like Holocaust. And you can assess it by one incident. When an 89 years old woman filed a petition in the court of Germany and asked, when our constitution gives us right to freedom of speech and expression freely, why we cannot express our thoughts and ideas on Holocaust? The court said, Holocaust is not a historical matter, it is a plea. That's why you have no right to express your thought and idea on Holocaust. As for India, where we live, Indian Constitution also gives us 6 fundamental rights. And freedom of speech and expression is one of them. But nowadays, some people are demanding restricted freedom of speech and expression, while some are in favor of absolute freedom of speech and expression. For this purpose, we are going to hold this program. I have 4 members. One is advocate of restricted freedom of speech and expression, Mr. Mubashir Alam, and the other is the advocate of absolute freedom of speech and expression, Mr. Riazur Rahman. And I have a legal expert as well, who will tell us what is Indian Constitution and what are the United Nations laws in this regard. And I have an Islamic scholar as well, who will tell us what is actual Islamic viewpoint of freedom of speech and expression, and does Islam give us right to freedom of speech or not. So let's start with the advocate of restricted freedom of speech and expression, Mr. Mubashir Alam. Sir, why are you in favor of restricted freedom of speech and expression? Why it is our birthright?
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. First and foremost, I would like to thank you to give me a chance to put my stand in this scholarly debate program. Sir, I believe that human being is created independent, and he enjoys lots of freedoms in his life. Freedom of religion, freedom of tradition, and as well as the freedom of speech and expression as his birthright. But his freedom of speech does not mean that he has no limitation to use this right as he wishes. It does not mean to hurt other sentiments or to make blasphemous remarks against any religious personality or to cast his offensive comment against any community. Sir, if a man is permitted to enjoy his freedom of speech without any restriction, then there will be countless troubles and innumerable tensions in the well-knitted community living together with love and harmony. Sir, however, I favor restricted freedom of speech for some reasons. If the freedom of speech is not limited and confined to an extent, the violence would engulf the whole existence of the universe and the people will be deprived of peace and tranquility. Moreover, absolute freedom of speech will lead to enmity and would end up in bloodshed. Absolute freedom of speech will erase the brotherhood and unity from the harmonious communities and will not let them prosper and flourish. Absolute freedom of speech will inspire the citizens to go against the law and constitution of their own country. So, there would be no solidarity, no stability in any country where there the germ of such kind of freedom is practiced.
Sir, you are saying that without restriction, a lot of troubles will happen. In India, there are some restrictions in freedom of speech and expression. Despite it, a lot of people deliver hate speeches. What do you want to say about them?
Sir, it is also reality that there are some restrictions and limitations in Article 19(1) of Indian Constitution. By dint of these restrictions and limitations, lots and lots of people do not give provocative statements and do not deliver hate speech that causes harm for society and destroys the environment of the country. Nevertheless, if any person gives provocative statement and delivers hate speech that causes harm for society and destroys the environment of the country, he will be arrested and jailed. Sir, due to this article, a lot of people are in jail yet, and this article prevents a lot of people to speak hateful words and sentences like this.
Thank you, sir. Now I turn to advocate of absolute freedom of speech and expression, Mr. Riazur Rahman. Sir, the advocate of restricted freedom of speech and expression counted a lot of troubles and difficulties. Why are you in favor of absolute freedom of speech and expression?
Thank you, sir. You gave me a chance to stand on hot and heavy debate of freedom of speech and expression in this public forum. I am of the opinion that freedom of speech and expression must be absolute. I support absolute freedom of speech and expression for some reasons. Number one, we were born free and we enjoy absolute freedom in our dietary matters, as everybody is free to eat whatever they want. And in our dressing affairs, we are quite independent to wear what we desire and so on. Then why we should not enjoy absolute freedom of speech and expression and speak our heart freely without any restrictions? Number two, it should be up to us to decide what to speak and what not to speak. And who are others to restrict us and decide for us what to speak? It's just a sign of slavery. The third reason is that most of Western countries enjoy absolute freedom of speech and expression. People over there exercise their right to freedom and enjoy their natural instinct and feel quite free. Moreover, if you are restricting freedom of speech, so what would be the criteria of restrictions? And how will you define the reasonable restrictions? And who will decide restrictions? So ultimately it is quite justified that freedom of speech and expression must remain absolute.
Sir, the second question is that what do you want to say about the people who regularly try to incite the situation and try to polarize the people on the basis of their religion, caste, creed? They are not only in India, but these kind of people are found in Western countries too. Should they not be careful about duties and responsibilities?
So first it should be clear that freedom of speech and expression is a fundamental right and other cannot interfere in it. Coming to the point, yes, I agree that there are many people who always try to damage the good image of society and the country by hate and provocative speeches. But so let me explain. Even though they are polarizing the society and they spread hatred among community, but who compel you to go behind hate speakers? You have your own sense, you may use your sense, none can force you to follow their instruction to damage the harmony and peace. Let them doing their work and do your part of work. Sir, you mentioned duty and responsibility. Which kind of duty, morality, duty and responsibility is you talking about? They are the people who have already broken the fence of humanity. Expecting them about duty and responsibility is useless.
Thank you, sir. Now I want to listen to our legal expert, Mr. Shahid Ayaz. Sir, what is your opinion in this regard, and what is Indian Constitution regarding freedom of speech and expression?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance to share some ideas regarding it. As far as the freedom of speech and expression is concerned, being a law expert, I want to share some ideas regarding it. Two types of freedom of speech and expression are mostly found in a democratic country: absolute freedom and restricted freedom. Absolute freedom means a person can speak whatever comes in his mind, while the restricted freedom of speech is to remain under the limitation fixed by the Constitution. There are some people who advocate the absolute freedom, while some others have educated the restricted freedom. United Nations, even though educate the absolute freedom, but it has mentioned duty and responsibility. It says that the only purpose for which power can rightfully exercise toward any member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others. However, the Constitution of India guarantees various fundamental rights to its citizens. One such important right is the right to freedom under Article 19A1. This includes the right to freedom of speech and expression. This guarantees that every citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression. This right is available only to the citizens of India and not available to the person who are not the citizens of India. And there are some restrictions also and some limitations. For example, you are not free to delivering hate speech, and you are not free to give the statement threatening the security of the nation, threatening the friendly relation with the other countries, and you have no right to blame any religion and so on.
Sir, you have described the Indian Constitution and media is not mentioned separately. I want to know what are the rights for media in Indian Constitution and what are the limitations fixed by the Constitution for media.
Sir, it is true that media is a basic pillar of a democratic country and it is a source to share ideas and thoughts with others. But it is not mentioned separately in the Constitution of India, but it is included in Article 19A1. So just as we have the right to freedom of speech and expression, the same does media. And just as we are required to avoid delivering hate speech and to giving the statement threatening the security of the nation and to say something breaking the friendly relation with the other countries, the same way media also required to avoid from doing these things.
Thank you, sir. Now I turn to Islamic scholar. Sir, I want to know what is actual Islamic viewpoint of freedom of speech and expression.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me a chance to tell what Islam says about freedom of speech and expression. All the colleagues present here insisted that freedom of speech and expression is our fundamental right. I agree with them. Even Islam guarantees freedom of speech and expression. Islam makes it mandatory upon every Muslim to speak out, revealing the truth, fearing none but Allah. But it should be kept in mind that Islam has nothing to do with freedom to insult. It lays emphasis on its exact opposite, freedom from insult. It lays human dignity, decency, and harmony in the society. And we all know now more than ever before, the world needs harmony and tolerance. That can only be assured by freedom from insult, not by freedom to insult. But ironically, some in the East started suffering from untreatable intellectual disorder. They say freedom of speech is absolute. You can speak anything against anybody at any time, anywhere, and in any way. Although this type of freedom does not exist in the world, because such a freedom would result in nothing but people defaming each other, spreading slanders, and falsely accusing each other. The West speaks of freedom of speech, and it claims that individuals in society are free to express their opinion in any way they want, or for anyone they wish. But I want to make it clear that, however, it shows biasness towards certain matters and issues. And for them, it has made laws. For example, in the European countries, there is a law as per which no one is allowed to speak about anti-Semitic movement in the Nazi regime. People are not allowed to favor the Holocaust or give any opinion that does not oppose it. It is against the law to say that Hitler didn't murder millions of Jews. Many people have been punished for it. Recently, a journalist was questioning American President Donald Trump, but the poor journalist was thrown away from the conference only because of his critical question. So, what kind of freedom of speech this is? The West speaks of freedom of speech without any boundaries. But when it comes to certain matters and issues, there is no freedom of speech whatsoever. And there are strict limitations. And when it comes to Western media,